are we going to be talking about today? Well, as always, we start with the jobless claims. It takes an employment to purchase, stable employment to purchase a home, acquire a mortgage. So we've got to look at this, and the numbers are so important with what's going on with COVID, and as we emerge, vaccines, we've got to understand what's happening with the employment market. We have the Shiller Home Price Index, which is the gold standard for home appreciation, really important numbers. Pending home sales, we have to understand what's going on with existing contracts. And then we're talking about a tool, bid above ask. It's a break-even tool. We got a dynamic market right now, obviously, where we're seeing a lot of contracts with the bids over the asking price. This is just a tool that's going to help us understand how we calculate the break-even point, where we come in with our bid over the asking price. All right, let's look at jobless claims. Look, you can see the numbers. The jobless claims and unemployment benefits declined in the week of 12/26. I want to make sure everybody's careful here. Yes, we want unemployment to decline, meaning more people becoming employed. But understand, these declines are probably for the wrong reasons. It's probably just people expiring from benefits, no longer actually able to get benefits, and they're not re-entering the workforce. Look, we've got to get a feel for these numbers. We've got to get back to work safely as best we can. I'm hoping the vaccine will support that. We've got to understand we could have some more meaningful unemployment numbers in relation to a very aggressive Fed monetary policy that will affect the real estate market downstream, and we just want to be prepared for strategies and how we handle that to best represent our customers and our buyers and sellers. All right, housing market index, 8.4% growth, home prices in year over year. That's just a phenomenal number, obviously. Our 20-city price index was up a point and a half, 6.6 to 7.9%. That's the fastest rise, I think, in 6 years, which is wonderful. Just make sure you understand the math. So if you're buying a $300,000 home at 8.4 appreciation, you're going to get over $25K in a year, and I'm not even including amortization in that number as well. So you got to get your money in right now if you're looking at buying a home, because you really want to get the power of that amortization. If you'd like to talk to me more in detail and run some math scenarios against that, just contact me. Let's look at pending home sales. These are signed contracts on existing homes. 2% decline October to November. I want to talk about that in a second. Up 16.4% year over year, which is crazy. And we have some of the lowest inventories in history right now. If you're an agent, buyer, seller, you understand how tight industry inventory is in the market right place. Just understand, if there was more inventory, it would have been sold, and we would not have had a decline year over year, month over month, October to November. So it's all about the inventory right now. All right, I'm going to leave everybody with this bid over ask tool. You have to understand two things. When we look at a house, there's kind of this notion of value or price with two kind of general areas. One's obviously the appraised value. That gives us what the market thinks the house is worth as it relates to collateral, but there's also what the listing price, or what the seller wants to sell that price for. And so, hopefully we have appraisals and asking price that's somewhat similar, but I know in this inventory constrained market, everybody's seeing bids well above ask. You got to compete for that deal. So when we get in that environment, here's a tool that you can use just as one more data point. It's a great tool, the bid above ask. So let's say, for example, you're coming in $10,000 over the asking price. Let's start to think about, when are we going to break even on that? What does the return look on that bid that's over the asking price? So we have this tool from our friends in MBS Highway. It's got historical appreciation included in the calculation. It's also looking at forecasted appreciation in the calculation. It's down to zip code specific. So this is going to be very market specific for the home that you may potentially be looking at. And it's going to give you insight. If you bid X amount over the asking price, what can you expect to break even or get return on that money?